Your life is not going to change by itself. No one is coming to push you, to drag you out of bed, or to force you to take action. It's all on you. Every single dream you have, every goal you keep thinking about, none of it is going to happen unless you get up and make it happen. Too many people wait. They wait for motivation. They wait for the right mood, the right time, and the right feeling. But waiting is the fastest way to stay exactly where you are. If you don't take control of your life now, time will pass, and one day you'll look back and wonder why you didn't start sooner. The world doesn't slow down for hesitation. Success doesn't wait for perfect conditions. The people who make it happen are the ones who take action, even when they don't feel like it. This is your wake-up call. Enough with the overthinking. Enough with the hesitation. Enough with the excuses. You have everything you need to take the first step right now. And if you keep pushing, if you keep showing up, no matter how small the progress, you will move forward. Because success is not about luck, talent, or resources. It's about discipline, action, and the decision to do the work. If you're tired of feeling stuck, if you're tired of watching time slip away while your goals stay out of reach, then stop waiting. Get up and get it done. Because the only thing standing between you and the life you want is action. And that action starts now. Number 1, if you don't start now, you never will. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. They want to believe that someday they'll feel ready. That one day the stars will align, motivation will hit, and everything will just fall into place. But it never happens. Because the longer you wait, the harder it gets. The more you delay, the more comfortable you become with doing nothing. And before you know it, another year has passed, another 5 years, another decade, and you're still in the same place wondering where the time went. You have to understand something. Time isn't waiting for you. Life doesn't pause just because you're unsure, unmotivated, or scared. The clock keeps ticking. And every second you waste is a second you'll never get back. The people who achieve success, the ones who change their lives, aren't the ones who had everything figured out before they started. They're the ones who started before they were ready. They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They created it. Because here's the reality. The perfect moment does not exist. If you're waiting for it, you're waiting for something that will never come. Most people fail before they even begin. Not because they aren't capable, not because they don't have the talent, but because they never take the first step. They overthink, they make excuses, they tell themselves they'll do it later, but later never comes. And the longer they wait, the more they convince themselves that it's too late, that it's too hard, that maybe they're just not meant to succeed. Think about how many times you've told yourself you'd start something, a new habit, a new goal, a new challenge. Maybe you said you'd wake up early, get in shape, start that business, read more, work harder. But then what happened? The alarm went off and you hit snooze. You told yourself you'd start tomorrow. Then tomorrow became next week, then next month, then next year. And now here you are, still thinking about it, still talking about it, but never doing it. That stops today. If you don't start now, you never will. And if that doesn't wake you up, I don't know what will. Because here's the truth. Success doesn't come to the people who wait. It comes to the people who move. The ones who take action, even when they don't feel like it. The ones who push through doubt, fear, and discomfort. The ones who understand that the first step is always the hardest, but also the most important. And that's where most people get it wrong. They think they need to feel motivated before they start. They think they need to have everything planned out. They think they need to be fully prepared. But that's a lie. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. If you're waiting for motivation, you'll be waiting forever. What you need is discipline. The ability to act, regardless of how you feel. The ability to say, I don't care if I'm tired. I don't care if I'm not in the mood. I don't care if I don't feel ready. I'm doing it anyway. That's what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. The winners from the losers. The people who make things happen from the people who sit around watching others succeed. And listen, this isn't just about big dreams or long-term goals. This is about your daily choices. Every single day you have 2 options. You can either do what needs to be done, or you can find an excuse. You can either push yourself, or you can stay comfortable. You can either get up and take action, or you can sit back and waste another day. You have to decide, because no one else is going to do it for you. No one is coming to push you. No one is coming to make you successful. It's all on you. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner your life will change. Most people never take responsibility for their own success. They blame their circumstances, their past, their environment. They tell themselves they're too busy, too tired, too inexperienced, too old, too young. But none of that matters. Because at the end of the day, the only thing standing between you and success is the decision to start. And let me tell you something. Starting is the hardest part. Once you take that first step, everything gets easier. Once you prove to yourself that you can do it, you build confidence. And once you build confidence, you build momentum. And momentum is powerful. It turns effort into habit. It makes action automatic. And that's when everything changes. But if you never start, you'll never know what you're capable of. You'll never know how far you could have gone. You'll never see the results, the progress, the success that was waiting for you, because you never took the first step. So let me ask you, how much longer are you going to wait? How many more excuses are you going to make? How many more times are you going to tell yourself, you'll do it later? Because if you don't start now, you never will. And if you let that happen, you're going to wake up one day filled with regret, wishing you had taken action when you had the chance. Don't let that happen. Start today. Start now. Take one step. Just one. Because that one step will lead to another, and another. And before you know it, you'll look back and realize you're not the same person anymore. You're not stuck. You're not waiting. You're moving forward. You're making progress. You're doing what most people never will. You're taking control of your own life. And that's what it's all about. So no more waiting. No more excuses. No more delays. This is your time. This is your moment. Get up, get moving, and get it done. Number 2, your feelings don't matter. Your actions do. You wake up, and the first thought in your head is, I don't feel like it. You don't feel like getting out of bed. You don't feel like going to work. You don't feel like working out. You don't feel like doing anything difficult, and that's the problem. You're letting your feelings control your life. You're making decisions based on what's comfortable instead of what's necessary. And that is why so many people stay stuck, never achieving their goals, never making progress, never becoming the person they were meant to be, because they keep waiting to feel like it. But let me tell you something. Your feelings don't matter. Your actions do. You think successful people wake up every day feeling motivated. You think the people who go to the gym consistently always want to work out. You think the people building businesses, writing books, pushing themselves beyond their limits are just naturally excited to do hard things. No, they feel the same way you do. They wake up tired. They have days where they don't want to do anything. They have moments where they'd rather take the easy route. But they don't let those feelings dictate their actions. They show up anyway. They put in the work anyway. They push forward anyway, because they understand something most people never will. Your feelings are unreliable. They change. They come and go. But action is what creates results. That's where most people get it wrong. They wait to feel motivated before they take action. They wait to feel inspired before they start working. But motivation is a lie. It's a temporary emotion, and if you only take action when you feel like it, you'll never get anywhere. Think about it. How many times have you been excited to start something? A new habit, a new goal, a new project, only to lose that excitement after a few days. Maybe you start going to the gym and for the first week, you're pumped. But then the soreness kicks in, the excitement fades, and suddenly you don't feel like going anymore. And so you stop. Or maybe you set a goal to wake up early, and for the first few days you do it. But then one morning you're tired, and you tell yourself, just this once, I'll sleep in. And before you know it, you're back to your old habits. See, that's the problem with relying on feelings. They will betray you every time. They will convince you to quit. They will trick you into believing that you're not ready, that it's too hard, that it's not worth it. But your feelings don't get to decide your future. Your actions do. And if you want to succeed, if you want to build discipline, if you want to change your life, you have to learn to act, regardless of how you feel. The difference between winners and losers isn't talent. It isn't luck. It isn't even intelligence. It's consistency. It's the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's showing up on the days when it's hard. It's pushing through when every part of you wants to quit. It's understanding that your emotions are temporary, but your actions create permanent results. Let me tell you something. If you let your feelings control your life, you will never accomplish anything great. You will always find an excuse. You will always have a reason to put things off. And one day you will look back on your life, full of regret, wondering why you never did the things you wanted to do. And the answer will be simple: because you never felt like it. But here's the good news. You don't have to feel like it. You just have to do it. Stop negotiating with yourself. Stop giving yourself an option. Stop allowing your emotions to dictate your actions. Make a decision that no matter how you feel, you are going to take action. You are going to show up. You are going to do what needs to be done. Because that is what separates the successful from the average. That is what turns dreams into reality. That is what builds a strong, disciplined, unstoppable person. You have to train yourself to move before your mind has a chance to talk you out of it. The moment you start thinking, the moment you start debating, you've already lost. Because your mind will always choose comfort. It will always choose the easy way out. So don't give it a choice. Act first. Think later. The alarm goes off. Get up. Don't think about it. Don't question it. Just get up. You need to go to the gym? Put your shoes on and walk out the door. Don't give yourself time to come up with excuses. You need to work on your goals. Open your laptop and start. Because once you start, the resistance disappears. Once you take action, the feelings catch up. That's the secret. Most people wait to feel motivated before they act. But successful people act first, and then motivation follows. They don't wait to feel ready. They create readiness through action. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They make the moment perfect by taking the first step. And that's what you have to do. Because let me tell you something. If you only take action when you feel like it, you will be average for the rest of your life. And I know that's not what you want. I know you want more. I know you have dreams, goals, ambitions. But none of that matters if you don't do something about it. None of that matters if you sit around waiting for the perfect moment, waiting to feel motivated, waiting for some external force to push you. You have to push yourself. You have to be the one who says, I don't care how I feel. I don't care if I'm tired. I don't care if I'm not in the mood. I'm doing it anyway. Because that is how success is built. That is how discipline is developed. That is how you take control of your life. So the next time you tell yourself, I don't feel like it, remind yourself that your feelings don't matter. Your emotions are not in charge. You are. And the only way to get where you want to be is to act, no matter what. This is your moment. No more excuses. No more waiting. No more letting your emotions hold you back. Get up. Get moving. Get it done. Number 3. Nobody is coming to save you. It's all on you. That's the truth. Most people don't want to hear. They spend their whole lives waiting for someone to notice their potential, waiting for the perfect opportunity, waiting for a sign, a mentor, a lucky break, something, anything to come along and make things easier. But let me tell you something. Nobody is coming. Nobody is going to wake up one day and hand you the life you want. Nobody is going to knock on your door and say, here, take this. This is the success, the discipline, the happiness, the financial freedom you've been hoping for. That's not how life works. If you want something, you have to make it happen. You have to get up and get it done. You have to take responsibility for your future. Because at the end of the day, it's all on you. And I know that can feel like a heavy truth. It can feel overwhelming because it means there's no shortcut. No easy way out. It means you can't sit around waiting for someone to fix your problems. Because nobody is coming. But there's power in that realization. Because if nobody is coming to save you, that means you are in control. It means you don't have to wait anymore. It means you don't need permission to go after what you want. It means you are the one who gets to decide how your life turns out. And that should make you feel unstoppable. Because think about it. How many people waste years of their lives waiting for motivation, waiting for the right time, waiting until they feel ready? But guess what? They never do. Because waiting is a lie we tell ourselves to avoid doing the work. The right time will never come. You will never feel fully ready. And if you keep waiting for someone to come along and push you, you're going to be stuck in the same place forever. I see it all the time. People sitting around complaining about how unfair life is, complaining about how they don't have the right opportunities, the right connections, the right circumstances. But successful people, they don't complain. They don't sit around waiting for life to hand them something. They get up and they create their own opportunities. They don't have connections. They go out and make them. They don't have the right skills. They teach themselves. They don't have the perfect circumstances. They start with what they have and make it work. That's the difference. That's why some people succeed, while others spend their lives making excuses. And I get it. It's easier to blame the world. It's easier to sit back and say, well, if I had better parents, if I had more money, if I had more time, if I wasn't so unlucky, then maybe I'd be successful. But that's a losing mindset, because as long as you blame something outside of yourself, you give up your power. You convince yourself that your life is out of your hands, that you're just a victim of circumstances. But listen to me. You are not a victim. You are not helpless. You are not stuck. You can change your life. But it starts the moment you stop waiting and take responsibility. And responsibility is a scary word for a lot of people, because it means there's nobody else to blame. It means if you fail, it's on you. If you don't achieve your goals, it's on you. If you waste your time, your potential, your life, it's on you. But here's the thing. That's also what makes it empowering. Because if it's on you, then you have the ability to fix it. If it's on you, then that means you have the power to change everything. And that's a gift. So stop looking for shortcuts. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for life to get easier. It's not going to. You're not going to wake up one day suddenly feeling unstoppable. You're not going to magically have all the answers, all the skills, all the confidence you need. That comes from doing. That comes from taking action, from making mistakes, from learning, from growing, from pushing through even when it's hard. That's how success is built. Step by step, day by day, action by action. And let me be clear, this isn't about working yourself into the ground. This isn't about grinding 24/7s and burning yourself out. No, this is about shifting your mindset. This is about realizing that everything you want is within your reach, if you're willing to put in the work. This is about understanding that nobody is going to do it for you. But that's okay, because you can do it for yourself. So let me ask you, what are you waiting for? Another day, another year, another excuse? Because the time is passing either way. And every day you spend waiting is another day wasted. Another day you'll never get back. And one day you're going to wake up and realize you wasted too much time, that you let too many opportunities slip by, that you spent too many years waiting for something that was never going to come. And that regret, that's a pain you don't want to live with. Because the truth is, you have everything you need to get started. You don't need more time, more resources, more motivation. You just need to make a decision to take action, to stop making excuses, to stop waiting for things to magically change, because they won't. You have to change. So today, right now, this moment, make a choice. Choose to take responsibility for your life. Choose to stop blaming, stop waiting, stop hesitating. Choose to get up and get to work. Choose to take control of your future. Because at the end of the day, nobody is coming to save you. But that's okay, because you don't need them to. You have everything you need inside of you. Now prove it. Number 4, the 5-second rule. Beat procrastination instantly. You know what the biggest killer of success is? Procrastination. That moment when you know what you need to do, but you hesitate. That small gap between your intention and your action. It's where dreams die. You say, I'll do it later. I'll start tomorrow, or maybe next week. But let me tell you something. Every time you hesitate, you give your mind the chance to talk you out of it. And if you don't control that hesitation, it will control you for the rest of your life. That's why the most powerful thing you can do is act immediately. Don't think, don't overanalyze, don't wait for motivation, just move. Because the longer you wait, the harder it gets. And the truth is, if you don't take action within 5 seconds, your brain will find a way to stop you. It will come up with an excuse, a reason, a distraction, anything to keep you in your comfort zone. And that's how people stay stuck. That's how dreams get buried. That's how years pass and nothing changes. Let's get real. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start tomorrow? How many times have you planned something great, but never followed through? How many times have you known exactly what you needed to do, but let doubt, fear, or laziness stop you? That hesitation, it's a habit. And the more you do it, the more you reinforce it. But here's the good news. Just like hesitation is a habit, action can be a habit too. And the key to building that habit is simple. Don't give yourself time to think. The moment you know what you need to do, count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move. Why does this work? Because it interrupts your mind before it can stop you. It gives you a small window to act before your brain kicks in with all the reasons why you shouldn't. You don't feel like working out? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get up. You need to make that call? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pick up the phone. You have work to do, but you feel lazy? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start typing. The action is always the hardest part, but once you start, momentum kicks in. And once you build momentum, nothing can stop you. Some people wait for motivation, but motivation is a lie. If you sit around waiting to feel like doing something, you're going to waste your life. Because motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. It's there one day and gone the next. But discipline, that is what creates results. And discipline is built through action, not through feelings. If you only act when you feel like it, you'll never be consistent. And if you're not consistent, you'll never succeed. So forget about how you feel. Your feelings don't matter. Your actions do. And listen, I know it's hard. I know there are days when you don't feel like doing anything. Days when you're tired, when you're overwhelmed, when you just don't have the energy. But that's exactly why you must push through. Because every time you push through when you don't feel like it, you get stronger. Every time you force yourself to take action, despite your emotions, you gain control over your mind. And the more control you have over your mind, the more control you have over your life. The truth is, life doesn't wait for you to feel ready. Opportunities don't wait. Success doesn't wait. You either move or you get left behind. And the people who succeed, they aren't the ones who feel motivated all the time. They're the ones who take action, even when they don't feel like it. They're the ones who do the work, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. And here's the real test. Can you do what needs to be done, even when you don't want to? Can you push yourself to act, even when your mind is screaming at you to stop? Because that's what separates the winners from everyone else. The winners don't let their feelings dictate their actions. They don't wait for the perfect mood, the perfect day, the perfect time. They create their own momentum. They train their minds to obey, not to negotiate. Think about this. Every great achievement in history came from action, not from waiting, not from overthinking, not from hoping or wishing. Action. That's what changes lives. That's what builds businesses, relationships, and success. And if you want to change your life, you have to start right now, not tomorrow, not next week, now. So whatever it is that you've been putting off, whatever goal you've been delaying, whatever dream you've been waiting to chase, this is your moment. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get up and do it. Because if you don't, you're going to look back years from now and regret all the time you wasted. You're going to wish you had started sooner. You're going to wish you had pushed yourself harder. But wishing won't change anything. Only action will. Make today the day you break the habit of hesitation. Make today the day you stop letting your feelings control your future. Make today the day you take full responsibility for your life. Because nobody is coming to push you. Nobody is coming to force you. This is on you, and you are capable of more than you realize. But you'll never see it if you keep waiting. So stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop making excuses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move. Number 5. Discipline over dopamine. How to control your mind. You wake up every day with a choice. You can either let your mind control you, or you can take control of it. Most people wake up and let their feelings decide how their day will go. They say, I don't feel like working out today, and so they don't. They say, I don't feel like reading today, and so they don't. They say, I don't feel like pushing myself today, and so they stay in the exact same place they've always been. And then months go by, years go by, and they wonder why their life hasn't changed. Let me tell you something. Your feelings don't matter. Your actions do. Because at the end of the day, nobody cares how you feel. Life doesn't reward you for wanting success. It rewards you for earning it. If you only work when you feel motivated, you will never be consistent. If you only push yourself when it's easy, you will never be strong. And if you only take action when you feel like it, you will never build the discipline it takes to win. Every time you make a decision based on how you feel in the moment, you are training your mind to be weak. You are teaching yourself that comfort is more important than progress. And the more you give in to that weakness, the harder it gets to break free from it. Because the truth is, discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And just like any muscle, if you don't use it, it will get weaker. So every time you say, I don't feel like doing it, and then you do it anyway, you are strengthening that muscle. You are rewiring your brain to take action, no matter how you feel. And that is the key to success. Learning to act in spite of your emotions. Think about the most successful people in the world. Do you think they always feel like showing up? Do you think they always feel like working harder than everyone else? No, but they do it anyway. And that's what separates them from everyone else. The average person makes decisions based on feelings. The successful person makes decisions based on discipline. If you want to change your life, you have to stop letting your emotions control your actions. It doesn't matter if you feel tired. It doesn't matter if you feel unmotivated. It doesn't matter if you don't feel like doing it. You do it anyway. Because if you don't, you are choosing to stay the same. You are choosing to let laziness win. You are choosing to let comfort steal your future. Most people think discipline is about forcing yourself to suffer. But that's not true. Discipline is about setting yourself free. Because when you develop discipline, you don't have to rely on motivation. You don't have to wait for inspiration. You don't have to hope that you'll feel like it one day. You just do it. No thinking. No debating. No excuses. And when you start living that way, everything changes. Imagine waking up and knowing that no matter how you feel, you will get things done. Imagine knowing that you are the kind of person who follows through no matter what. Imagine building so much discipline that nothing can stop you. Not doubt, not fear, not laziness. That is the power of training your mind to act in spite of how you feel. But you have to start, and you have to be consistent. Because discipline isn't built overnight. It's built one decision at a time. Every time you push yourself when you don't feel like it, you are rewiring your brain. Every time you take action despite your emotions, you are becoming stronger. Every time you prove to yourself that you can do it, you are building a foundation for success. And here's the truth. If you don't take control of your mind, somebody else will. If you don't discipline yourself, life will do it for you. And let me tell you, life's discipline is much harsher than your own. Because when you don't do what you're supposed to do, you will face consequences. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. But eventually, you will wake up and realize that time has passed. Opportunities have slipped away, and you are still stuck in the same place. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you feel like it. Don't wait for motivation. Take action. Now, train your mind to work, to push, to stay focused. Because success is not about how you feel. It's about what you do. And if you can master that, there is nothing you can't achieve. Number 6. Your life won't change until your habits do. Every single day, you have a choice. You can keep living the same way, doing the same things, making the same excuses, and getting the same results. Or you can decide right now that it's time to change. Because here's the truth. Your life will never change until your habits do. No amount of wishing, hoping, or dreaming will make it happen. It's what you do every day that defines who you are and where you're going. And if you don't take control of your habits, they will control you. Look around at your life. Every result you have right now, good or bad, is a direct reflection of your habits. Your health, your career, your relationships, your confidence. It all comes down to the small things you do over and over again. But most people don't want to hear that. They want to believe that success is about luck, or that some people are just born with discipline, or that they'll get serious someday. Let me tell you something. Someday is a lie. If you don't start now, you probably never will. And if you're waiting for the right time, you'll be waiting forever. The problem isn't that people don't know what to do. They know. They know they should exercise. They know they should read. They know they should wake up earlier. They know they should stop wasting time on distractions. The problem is they're addicted to comfort. They choose what feels good in the moment, instead of what will make them stronger in the long run. And that's why they stay stuck. Because they never build the habits that create real success. You have to understand something. Your brain is always looking for the easy way out. It's wired for survival, not success. It wants to keep you comfortable, to keep you safe, to keep you in the same patterns. That's why breaking bad habits is so hard. That's why starting new ones feels uncomfortable. But that's exactly why you have to push through. Because the only way to change your life is to change what you do every single day. Let's talk about those habits. What do your daily actions say about the future you're building? Be honest, because if you're not actively choosing habits that make you better, you're defaulting to ones that make you worse. There is no middle ground. If your habit is hitting snooze, if your habit is scrolling on your phone for hours, if your habit is procrastinating, then your future is already being written, and it doesn't end the way you want it to. But the good news, you can change that. You can rewrite your future starting today by making the right habits automatic. And don't make the mistake of thinking you have to change everything overnight. That's how people fail. They try to take on too much, get overwhelmed, and quit. The key to success is starting small. One habit, one change, one daily commitment. Because it's not about intensity, it's about consistency. You don't get in shape by going to the gym once. You don't become successful by working hard for a week. You don't build discipline by showing up only when you feel like it. Real change happens when you make a habit of doing the right things over and over again. Even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when you don't feel like it. Most people will never do this. They'll keep making excuses, keep waiting for motivation, keep telling themselves they'll start tomorrow. But not you. You're better than that. You're here because you know you're capable of more. You know that your habits are either making you or breaking you. And you know that if you don't change them now, you're going to regret it later. So stop waiting, stop hoping, stop thinking success is something that just happens. Take control of your habits today, and watch how fast your life starts to change. Because the moment you decide to take action, everything else falls into place. Now go get it done. Number 7, comfort is slowly killing you. Wake up. Every morning you wake up with a choice. You can stay in your comfort zone, hitting snooze, scrolling through your phone, telling yourself you'll start tomorrow. Or you can make the decision to wake up, take control, and start building the life you actually want. But here's the hard truth. Comfort is slowly killing you. It's keeping you stuck. It's keeping you weak. It's making sure you never reach your full potential. And if you don't break free from it now, you'll look back one day and realize you wasted your best years waiting for something that never came. People love to talk about success. They watch videos, read books, dream about it. But when it comes to taking real action, they hesitate. Why? Because success demands discomfort. It demands effort. It demands sacrifice. And most people aren't willing to give that. They want the rewards without the struggle. They want the results without the discipline. They want the dream, but they refuse to wake up and work for it. And that's why they never make it. If you keep choosing what's easy, your life will be hard. But if you choose what's hard now, your life will get easier. That's the truth. Most people don't want to hear. They want to believe that comfort is happiness. But comfort is just a trap. It's a slow poison. It feels good in the moment, but over time it takes everything from you. Your energy, your confidence, your dreams, your future. It all slips away while you sit there telling yourself you'll start later. You have to break out of this cycle. And the first step is to stop waiting until you feel ready. You're never going to feel ready. You'll always have doubts. You'll always have reasons to put it off. But waiting doesn't change anything. Action does. The moment you push through discomfort, the moment you step into something difficult, that's when you grow. That's when you get stronger. That's when you start building the life you actually want, instead of just talking about it. Think about this. The person you are right now is a result of every choice you've made up to this point. Every time you hit snooze, every time you skip the workout, every time you let fear stop you, you were shaping your future. And if you don't change something today, A year from now, you'll be the exact same person, facing the exact same struggles, wondering why nothing ever changed. But if you decide right now that you're done making excuses, done waiting, done choosing comfort over growth, then a year from now, your life will look completely different. The biggest mistake people make is thinking they need motivation to start. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. It's there one day and gone the next. And if you depend on it, you'll never be consistent. What you need is discipline, the ability to do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. And discipline is built by making a habit of choosing what's right over what's easy. The more you do it, the stronger you get. The stronger you get, the easier it becomes. Your body wants to stay comfortable. Your mind wants to stay comfortable. That's why it's so easy to waste hours on your phone. That's why it's so tempting to stay in bed just a little longer. That's why people avoid challenges, avoid risk, avoid doing anything that forces them to struggle. But nothing worth having comes without struggle. Growth comes from discomfort. Strength comes from resistance. Confidence comes from overcoming hard things. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. Most people will hear this and keep living the same way. They'll nod their heads, say that's true, and then go right back to their old habits. But you don't have to be like most people. You can decide that today is the day you take back control. That today is the day you stop running from the hard things. That today is the day you finally choose growth over comfort. Because if you don't, nothing changes. And if nothing changes, you're wasting time. Time you'll never get back. So what's it going to be? Another day of comfort. Another day of making excuses. Another day of waiting for the right time. Or are you going to stand up, take responsibility, and start doing what you know you need to do? The choice is yours. But make no mistake, your future depends on it. Number 8. One small win today can change everything. Every single day you are given a chance to change, a chance to grow, a chance to take one step closer to the life you want. But here's the problem. Most people don't take that chance. They wait. They hesitate. They tell themselves they'll start tomorrow, next week, next month. And before they know it, years have passed, and they're still stuck in the same place, living the same life, making the same excuses. But what if I told you that everything you want, every goal, every dream, every version of yourself you've imagined is on the other side of one small decision you make today? The truth is, it doesn't take massive, overnight transformations to change your life. It takes one small win, just one. One decision to show up, one choice to do something different, one moment of pushing past your comfort zone, and that one win leads to another, and another. And before you know it, momentum is on your side. You start waking up with purpose. You start believing in yourself. You start seeing progress where there was once only frustration. But none of that happens if you don't take that first step. Most people think they need to change everything all at once. They get overwhelmed, they overthink, and they end up doing nothing. They wait for the perfect time, for the perfect plan, for the perfect feeling. But there is no perfect time. There is no perfect plan. And if you wait until you feel ready, you'll be waiting forever. What you need to do is stop making it so complicated. Stop thinking about all the steps ahead and just focus on the next one. Just one small decision that moves you forward, no matter how small it seems, because that's all it takes to start. And when you start, something incredible happens. You prove to yourself that you can do it. You break through the mental barrier that's been holding you back. You realize that success isn't some big distant thing. It's just a series of small wins stacked on top of each other. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to win today. Think about the times you've set a goal and didn't follow through. What happened? You probably started strong, full of motivation, full of excitement, but then it got hard. Then life got in the way. Then you missed a day, then another, and eventually you quit. Why? Because you were chasing perfection instead of progress. You thought if you weren't doing everything right, it wasn't worth doing at all. But that's not how success works. Success isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about showing up, no matter what, even if you can only do a little, even if you don't feel like it, even if you're not seeing results right away. Just show up. Just get one small win today. You don't have to run a marathon today. Just take one step. You don't have to lift the heaviest weight today. Just go to the gym. You don't have to build $1 million business today. Just start working on the idea. You don't have to be the best today. Just be better than yesterday. Because when you stack up enough of these small wins, suddenly you look up and realize you're no longer the same person. You're stronger. You're sharper. You're more disciplined. You're someone who follows through. Someone who doesn't quit. Someone who creates their own success. Most people won't do this. They'll keep waiting for motivation. Keep waiting for the right time. Keep waiting for something external to push them forward. But not you. Not anymore. Because now you know the truth. Action comes before motivation. Confidence comes before results. Change comes before everything feels easy. And if you want to be the kind of person who wins in life, you have to start winning today. Not in some big dramatic way. Not in some perfect all or nothing plan. Just one small win. Just one thing that moves you forward. Just one decision that reminds you that you are in control of your future. So what's it going to be? Are you going to sit there letting another day pass you by, waiting for something to change? Or are you going to take that first step? Because once you do, everything starts to shift. Once you do, you realize you were capable all along. Once you do, you start building the momentum that will carry you forward. And before you know it, you've won today, and then tomorrow, and then the next day, until winning becomes your new normal. Until success isn't just something you dream about, it's something you live. Number 9, outwork everyone. Be the hardest worker in the room. You're about to hear something that could change everything for you. There's one thing that separates the winners from the people who just talk about winning. It's their work ethic. The winners outwork everyone. They put in the time. They push themselves. They show up when others stay home. And they do it day after day, no matter what. It's not glamorous, it's not easy, and it's definitely not something that's going to happen overnight. But it's the secret to success. So if you're serious about achieving anything in your life, you need to understand something. If you want to win, you have to outwork everyone around you. Think about your goals for a moment. Think about the big dreams you've been talking about. The ones that excite you, the ones that get you fired up when you think about them. Now think about the amount of work it's going to take to achieve them. Are you really prepared to put in the hours? Are you willing to give up the comfort of procrastination, of taking the easy road? Because that's what it takes. Winners don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't wait for the motivation to strike. They simply make the decision to work, and they work harder than anyone else. I know what you're thinking. You're probably saying, but Jim, I'm already working hard. And I get it. I understand that you're putting in effort, but I'm not talking about working hard for a few days or even a few weeks. I'm talking about consistency. I'm talking about showing up every single day. I'm talking about working harder than everyone else in the room. Not just when it's convenient, but when it's uncomfortable. If you want to outwork everyone, you have to have the grit to keep going when it's tough. You have to push through the times when it feels like no one is noticing, when no one is applauding your efforts, when it seems like it's all for nothing. But here's the thing, every minute you spend working, every extra hour you put in, every ounce of effort you give, it counts. It adds up. You may not see the results immediately, but trust me, they're coming. The most successful people in the world didn't get to where they are by taking shortcuts or waiting for things to fall into place. They got there by outworking everyone else. They put in the time when others were sleeping. They kept going when others quit, and they never stopped moving forward, even when it felt like they weren't making progress. And this is where it gets real. If you're serious about success, you can't afford to be lazy. You can't afford to slack off. You have to ask yourself, am I doing everything I can to reach my goals? Because if you're not, you're giving someone else the chance to pass you by. You're giving someone else the chance to outwork you. And here's the truth. If someone else is willing to put in more work than you, they're going to get the results. They're going to get the success. It doesn't matter how talented you are, how smart you are, or how many connections you have. If you're not willing to work harder than everyone else, someone else will. Now, this doesn't mean you have to work 24/7. It doesn't mean you have to sacrifice your health, your relationships, or your happiness in the process. But it does mean you have to be intentional with your time. You have to prioritize your work, focus on what matters, and make every minute count. You can't afford to waste time on distractions or procrastination. Every time you avoid doing the hard work, you're giving away your future success to someone else. But here's where it gets exciting. When you make the decision to outwork everyone else, things start to change. You begin to see progress. You start to gain momentum. You begin to realize that you're capable of so much more than you ever thought possible. You become a person who gets things done, a person who is unstoppable. You become a person who doesn't wait for opportunities to come to them. They create their own opportunities. You see, success is not something that's handed to you. It's something you earn. And you earn it through hard work, persistence, and the relentless pursuit of your goals. The more effort you put in, the more you'll get out. The more you show up, the more you'll get noticed. The more you push yourself, the more your potential expands. And one day you'll look around and realize that you're not just working harder than everyone else. You're ahead of everyone else. The truth is that success is a game. It's a game of who can put in the most effort and who can outwork everyone else. And if you want to win that game, you have to be willing to play it at a level that no one else is. You have to be willing to go further than anyone else is willing to go. You have to be willing to do the work when no one is watching, when it feels like you're not making any progress, when everyone else is quitting. Because those are the moments that matter the most. Those are the moments when you have the chance to outwork everyone else. And when you do that, success is no longer a question. It's a guarantee. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for the stars to align. Start working, and start working harder than everyone else. Because when you outwork everyone, you'll eventually outshine everyone. And that's when success becomes inevitable. It's not just about working harder, it's about working smarter, about giving it everything you've got, and about never giving up. When you outwork everyone, you create your own future, and there's nothing more powerful than that. So go ahead, get to work. Show the world what you're capable of. And remember, the hardest worker in the room always wins. You just have to decide that that's going to be you. Number 10, do it now. Because regret is forever. Regret is a heavy burden to carry. It's not just the feeling of wishing you had done something differently. It's the weight of missed opportunities, of dreams left unpursued, and of the time that slipped away without any real progress. And the thing is, regret doesn't just disappear. It lingers. It nags at you, reminding you of what could have been if only you'd acted. It's the nagging voice in your head that says, I should have started sooner. I should have pushed harder. I should have made that decision. And trust me when I tell you, regret is something you don't want to carry with you for the rest of your life. There's one thing that's certain in life. Time doesn't wait for anyone. It moves forward relentlessly, and it doesn't care about your dreams or your plans. It doesn't care about your intentions or how badly you want something. The clock keeps ticking, and before you know it, years have passed, and you find yourself wondering where the time went. That's when regret starts to creep in. It's the consequence of not acting, of waiting for the right time, or thinking you can always do it tomorrow. But let me tell you this, the longer you wait, the more regret builds up. And regret, once it takes root, can be one of the most painful things you experience in life. So here's the truth. You have to act now. You can't afford to keep waiting for the perfect moment, because it doesn't exist. You can't keep telling yourself, I'll get to it later. Because the truth is, if you don't take action now, the window of opportunity will close. And once it does, that regret will be there to remind you of what could have been. Don't let that happen. The best time to start is always right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when things are perfect, now. Because if you wait, you're giving up your future to regret. Look around you. Everything that's worth having in life requires action. It doesn't just fall into your lap. If you want success, if you want happiness, if you want to build a future that you can be proud of, you have to get up and start moving. You don't wait for things to happen. You make them happen. And the longer you delay, the further away those dreams will be. They won't wait for you. They won't hold off until you're ready. If you want them, you have to go after them now. And yes, that means taking risks, making decisions, and putting in the work. It means overcoming your doubts and fears, and doing things that scare you. But the alternative is living with regret. I know it's easy to get caught up in the cycle of one more day. But here's the thing. Every day you put it off is another day you're adding to the pile of regret. Every moment you waste is a moment you'll never get back. And let's be real here. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, and nothing happens. You keep pushing it off, thinking there's always time, thinking that you'll catch up later, but you won't. Time doesn't wait for anyone. And if you're not taking action now, you're only setting yourself up for a future filled with what could have been. But here's the good news. It's not too late. You can make the decision today to stop putting things off, to stop waiting for the perfect time, and to start taking action. You can choose today to take control of your life, to make things happen, to stop settling for a life of maybe someday, and start living a life of today is the day. And that, my friend, is the first step toward erasing regret from your life. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to know exactly how everything will play out, but you do have to take that first step. You do have to take action, no matter how small, because it's those small actions that build up over time and create momentum. And once that momentum starts, there's no stopping you. The more you act, the more you learn, and the more you grow. Each decision you make, each step you take, brings you closer to the life you want. But you have to start now. Not later, not next year, but now, because regret is forever. And the longer you wait, the heavier that regret becomes. And here's something that's even more powerful. The moment you take action, you're not just avoiding regret. You're creating a future you can be proud of. You're building a life that you'll look back on with no what ifs, no if only. When you act, you're writing your own story. You're taking charge of your own narrative. And that, my friend, is the most powerful thing you can do in this life. Don't let regret be the story you tell. Let action, growth, and progress be the story you share. So make today the day you take that first step. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for the conditions to be just right. The perfect time is now. The perfect time is when you decide that you've had enough of waiting and you're ready to act. The perfect time is when you stop letting fear control you and start taking action. The perfect time is when you realize that your future is in your hands and you're ready to shape it with every choice you make. If you want to live without regret, you have to start now. Every minute you delay is a minute you'll never get back. Don't let that time slip away. Take action today and start building the life you deserve. The only thing standing between you and your future is the decision to act. Don't let regret hold you back any longer. Take that first step now and never look back. You won't regret it because there's no greater feeling than knowing you gave it your all. The time is now. Go after it because you can do this. You are capable and the future is waiting for you. But you have to go after it. You have to act. So get up, take action, and make today the day you start living without regret.